Hi Ross, in this video I'm going to show you how to do some more of the advanced changes to the website, and we're going to look at how to add new users to the website or reset passwords to users, remove users, and how to change some of the global options for the overall theme of your website. Okay, so first of all, you need to log into your website as shown previously using the generation events gloss.co.uk/wp-admin link that I sent you in that email. So once you've done that, you can log into your admin page as shown here, and then on the left hand side you've got all the same options that you've seen before, and you've got users. So if you now click onto users, you can see currently there's just two accounts that have been created, one for me and one for you. So let's just click into your name a second. So you can go into edit, and there's a various different options that you can change here. Most of them you won't need to change, but say for example this was a new account that you set up for a friend or your partner. The main bits to show you is that the role here you can set up as being an admin, shop manager, customer, subscriber, author, editor. And what this does is this this can restrict how much control that person has over the website. So the top rank as such is the administrator, which you have. So you have complete control over the website, same as what I do. But say you wanted to create a new account for somebody else, but you don't want them to be able to, let's say, change the pages that you have already created, or change anything that's too substantial about your website, like the overall theme, then you could just create a author or a editor account. And what that means is that they can contribute by adding, let's say, some new posts or some new pages to your website, and they can only make changes to those specific new pages or ones that have been assigned to them to change, whereas you would have access to all of the actual pages. So a few different accounts that you can create there. I don't think that you'll need all of them. The shop manager and customer really is if you're trying to like sell products on your website, and currently you're not offering that sort of option for your website, so don't get too bogged down in that. So nickname and last name and first name, that's quite obvious what that is, and you can change that. Email address, you have to pick an email address because they'll be emailed the username and password. And if you scroll down, you can see here account management, new password, and here's where you can generate a new password. So all you'll do is click on this link here. It's created a brand new password. I won't set this though, of course. This is a new password, and if I were to hit update now, then that would be your new password. Or you could type in some other password into the actual box here. It will give you some guidance whether the password is weak or something that is stronger. So try and use that as guidance to make sure your website is secure. So once you've picked out a new password, you click on update user, and then that will then instantly change that person's account. So I won't change your password, of course. So let's look at how we can add a new user. So if you want to add somebody else to your business, you can go on to add new, and then these are the boxes to fill out. The only two you have to fill out is the username and email address, and just make sure it's something that is unique, so doesn't use your name in it or my email address in it. These boxes are optional, and then you click on this box here, and it will show you a random password that it has created for that particular account, but you don't have to use that. Again, you can just type in a password if they have one specifically that they actually want to use. Leave this box ticked so they'll be emailed the account information, and that will be sent to the email address that you put into this second box here. And then the most important, well, one of the most important parts is the role. So again, you can set up what sort of level of control. So the top one is administrator, and that will give them access to all of the options down the side of the page. Whereas if they have customer, then it would limit them down to just like creating orders. And manager will be able to, let's say, process orders. Author and editor means they can edit only new content, as I mentioned, that they have created. So that's how you make changes to and add new users. So I think that's fairly straightforward. Now, some of the other slightly more advanced settings to your website is that you can go on to appearance and then go down to customize. And then when you click on this, you're given a range of different settings that you can configure. Now, these settings control the whole website, so it's not specific to a certain page, but it will be applied to all of your pages, and that's quite important because it will give your clients a consistent feel when they browse all of your pages. So let's say you didn't like the actual header up here and you wanted to change it, wanted to change the menu or the logo or the drop down boxes. Well, you can go onto the header and navigation boxes here, and you go to header format, and you can change the actual layout of your header. Let's say you want to have the logo in the center here, so you can move it to the center of the page, or you can have it so your logo slides in and slides out when they actually load the actual page, or you can have it so it's full screen. So now you've got a logo here, and when you click onto this 3 lines here, it brings up a full screen menu. So there's a couple of different built-in options that you can use. Currently you're on the default, which most people will use. Let's go down to primary menu bar. So in here you can change it, so you can make the header full width, which means that it will resize depending on whether you've got a mobile device or an iPad or a larger screen. It will take up the maximum width of that page, and you can also hide the actual logo by clicking this box here as well. And say you want to increase the actual height of this menu, you can just drag and this bar here to gradually increase it or decrease it down. And if you make a mistake or you're unhappy with the changes that you've made, you can just click on this little arrow here, and that will then, let's say I changed it to 100, say, you thought, oh, that's too big. You could just click on the arrow here and then go back to the original settings. So don't worry if you make a mistake when you tinker with the website, you can always resort back to the default. And the same applies to the logo. You can change the logo size, you can change the text size here. As you see, it's now changing. Don't want to go too big. As you can see now, that's now overlapped the actual logo. So you might want to just click on the undo button there. Same for letter spacing. You can change the fonts that are used in the actual header, whether it's bold, italic, underlined, the actual color of the font being used in the header, and the drop-down color as well. So there's a whole variety of different changes, all to the actual header of your website. And I think they're fairly well explained there, so you should be hopefully okay to read through that and make changes. Let's say you want your mobile phone number changes or your email address changes in the future, and you can change the settings here, and then this will change the text that appears in the header up here. If you want to turn off the social media icons, you can just click on the button here, and let's say you want to turn off the search option on the right hand side. You can deselect the show search icon here. So that's the header. Now, very similar applies to the actual footer of your website. So the footer is the very bottom section of your website. Again, that is consistent for all of your pages. So currently I've set up your website to have 2 columns. So you've got column 1 here for the contact us, and column 2 for the showroom opening times. And let's say you think, oh, I want to have three columns now. You can change it to 3, and you can see now it's resized. So now you've got a gap on the right hand side here, so that you can add additional content in the future. So you've got a couple of different options and layouts that you can use for the configuration of that area. And the background color here you can change by selecting this bar here saying select color, and then you can just drag this line around here and to choose a different color for that background. Just bear in mind that if you were to choose, let's say, a very bright color, obviously the text is now not apparent, so you need to change that font color as well to accommodate that to a darker, let's say, black. And I'll show you in a moment how you can do that as well. So if you were to change that and you were too happy with it, just click on the default or the to the default to go back to the original color there. Another thing to show you that's actually quite useful is that this is showing you how your website looks on a desktop. Let's say you want to see, oh, I wonder how that looks on a tablet or an iPhone. You can use this option at the very bottom of the page just to like test your website. So that's now set on the desktop settings. If you click on this option here, that's how it would look on a tablet. And you see how the menu's now been compressed down, images have been reduced to allow for that reduced width on your website. And the same then applies for a mobile device. So this is how your website would look on a mobile platform, so like a iPhone or a Android phone. Again, it's been reduced down to accommodate for that reduced width. These settings here at the bottom won't change your website. It's just a preview of how it will look on those screens. So let's go down to widgets next on the footer. So in the widgets, let's go back to desktop again. The widgets is the different columns shown in the footer here, and these settings here allow you to change the actual text size and whether it's bold, italic, the links if you have links in there as well, sizes, and the color of the actual text as well. If you remember, I said the color was white on white before and it didn't look too good. Let's say you want to change that. You can have a red color, for example, or if you're not happy with that, go to default and change it back. The bottom bar, that is referring to the bit underneath. So this is the footer here, and if you go below the footer, you're going to got the actual bottom bar down here. So you can change the color of that again, exactly the same as before, and change the font sizes by just dragging that slider across. So some of the other changes that you might want to make, I don't think you need to make changes to buttons, but if you did, you can go into here, button styles. And it's very similar as before. You can change background colors and fonts to any buttons you have on your website. I think the other part might be handy is scheme colors. You've got a couple of default colors you can have here. So I've changed the header to green now. You can go to orange, pink, or red. I'll leave that as a default for blue right now. I think that works quite well for your website because I felt that worked well with the actual logo color, the blues there. So that's why I chose that. Additional changes, let's say static front page. So currently I've set it up so that these are all the pages that I configured for your website here, and you have one of your pages is the home page, which I've named home page, and what happens whenever anyone visits your website, the first page that appears on a website is the front page. And let's say for some reason you wanted to make sure that the first page they saw was like the customer reviews or they went straight to the Contact Us page, you could change your website so that the first page that's always shown is a different page, or you could have it so you have latest posts. Latest posts is really used for more like a blog really, so that they have like a list of posts that you've made to your website. I don't think you ever need to change this, so I suggest you just leave that as home page. Additional CSS, that's cascade and style sheets, and it's just a way that you can add some coding to configure the, let's say, the actual text or the fonts or the layout of your website. I don't expect you'll be making changes to the CSS, but if there's anything, let's say you want to configure something on your website and you can't see any options here in the admin page. What I can do, or I can show you as well, is how you can write code which can specifically change either information on like a certain page, and I think that's quite important because these options that I'm showing you here, as I mentioned, change all of the settings on all of your pages. Let's say you said, oh, hey Peter, I want to make a change on just the actual kids party change. I want to have that page specifically with let's say pink text. Well, I could show you how to write some special code that goes into here, so that only let's say the a specific page, let's say like the Sweet 16 page here is in pink. I could write some code so that I configure certain pages to appear in certain ways. I don't think I need to go down that route, but if you do need to, you know, those options are there. Now, once you've made changes to the these options, you need to click on the Save and Publish. If you don't click on that option, it will not save the changes. So a good point here is that if you made loads of changes and you thought, oh, I've really messed it up, don't worry, just click on the cross here and it will cancel all of the changes. But once you've hit on Save and Publish, it will save it, and you can't undo it unless you go back into it and, you know, undo those changes to it. So just make sure you hit Save and Publish, else it won't save the changes. So I'm not going to save it, so I've clicked on the cross here, and you can see here, do you want to leave this site? Changes you have made may not have been saved, so I'm going to click on Leave, and that will not save the changes that I've just made to your pages. So those are the major settings I would say to do. There are some settings down here as well. It's very unlikely you're ever going to need to change things here. But it's things like a date format, say if you're out in the States, or other sort of settings like that. These settings are really for if you've got like a blog website which you're not really using it for, so there's no need for that. And how many blogs appears on the page. I've set it up for 10 currently. Nothing you need to really change here. Things like permalinks, it really defines on how it defines how the website address appears on your website. So the default normally for WordPress uses this layout here, which means that the pages appear as P123 being the page numbers or post numbers. But it's more common nowadays to use the post name. So what it means is that when someone searches your website, you see the actual domain of your website, and then the actual post name or the page name. So let's say we go to your website and we go down to popcorn car hire. Or you can't see it on my my video right now, but if you were to do that and looked at the actual website address, it will say popcorn car hire in the actual website address. And that's quite important, because what that helps is with the search engine optimization. You might have heard of SEO, and it's just a way of when, let's say, Google or Bing indexes your website, they're going to scan through all of your pages, and because I've quite clearly written what all of your pages actually mean in the actual this bit of text here. It means that Google can index those pages understand what they mean, so that if someone is searching Google and types in kids party for a 16-year-old, then they're more likely to find that page because I have written it in the actual title. And of course there's some content on your pages as well. So let's just go back there a second. Let's say that the Sweet 16 party, because we've quite clearly put some text in here and some pictures, and also with the header, with the page name, which you can't see in the screen here, but it is called Kids Party Sweet 16 Party. Because it's been named in there, it just helps with the indexing on Google. And the other part I want to show you is the widgets. So you remember earlier on that I talked to you about the bottom area of your website. I said about the contact us and the showrooms. Let's say you need to change the address details down here, or you need to, let's say, change the showroom times, etc. Then what you do is you go, these here are called widgets. So you go back into the admin page, go down to appearance, and then down to widgets, and then lots of different settings you can do here, but the main bit to show you is if you scroll down to foot area 1 and foot area 2, foot area 1, foot area 2, and likewise 3 and 4. If you imagine there is up to 4 columns here, those would be the widgets. So this is widget 1, that's widget 2, and currently widget 3 and 4 are not shown, they're hidden. That's because, if you remember earlier on, I've only shown 2 columns, okay? But just for now, remember there's column 1 and column 2, so widget 1 and widget 2. Let's go back to that widget again, so footer area 1, in the widget 1. So that's where the details are for your business, so you can change the email address and book and line number, your company details. Once you've changed that, just hit on save. And likewise for the showroom opening time, just open it up by clicking that box there, and then you can just edit like the times here, and then once you've made those changes, hit save. Once you've hit saved, it's instantly changed on your website. If you wanted to add some more text underneath this, or likewise you want to add some more text to the 3rd or 4th widget, it's very easy to do. You just click on one of these boxes here. Most of them you won't really need, but I think the main one would be handy is the actual text box. So just click on that and then just drag it across the text. And now you can give it a title, and you can give it some text here. So let's say this is a title, and say, hi, this is Ross's new widget. So you can change this text here, hit on save, and then go back and view your website, and then you can see you've got a new bit of text down here. Okay. So and then if you're not happy with that, then you can just if I just refresh that page a second, I haven't refreshed it. If you're not happy with that, just click onto the delete. And that now deletes that bit of text. If I go back to your website now, it's just now been erased. Okay, so I think that's most of the settings you'll need to change. Oh, there's one more bit I just thought of, the actual main menu bar, the structure of it. So let's go back to dashboard again, and then go down to appearance, and then menu. This is the structure that I set up based upon the feedback that you gave me for the menu structure here. And if you hit view all, these are all of the pages that I set up for you. So if you want to add a new page to your website, let's say you want to add the Wolves Club Barnwood, you just click on this box here, click on add to menu, and it's just added to the bottom of here. And then if you just click on that and then drag it around, you see how you can change the order. And if you drag it in, it means that this will now be a sub-menu of photo booths. If we drag it out, it means now that will be the same level as wedding services. As you drag this around, this is not saved instantaneously. To save the changes, you must click on Save Menu. Once you've hit Save Menu, it will then be reflected on your website straight away. Now, you can set up a footer menu as well, or a primary menu, meaning the top menu. The footer menu and primary menu, I'll just point it out so you can see what I mean. So I'll leave this so that won't change the settings. This is called the primary menu at the top, and this is the footer menu. And I set it up this way because I thought, well, more people are going to be wanting to see these pages on for your business. I thought that's going to attract people to go straight to those pages. But there's additional information about your business that people might want to see, but not straight away. That's things like insurance and terms and conditions. So that's where I thought, well, it's useful, but let's put it at the bottom of the website so it's available. So let's say you want to change these pages, this option down the bottom here. Let's go back into your appearance and then menu again. Click onto the footer menu, hit select. That then brings up the menu here, and here you've got insurance and terms and conditions. So let's say you want to add like the About Us to that. Just hit the add button here. I've got a third menu option. Click on the save, and then that will now add About Us to the bottom of your website. Okay, so that's how you customize the menu. I think that is most of it to show you for now. So there is more things you can change in your website, but again, I think it's best if you just either give me a call or send me an email, and I'll help you. So if, for example, you go to add a new page, and there's something that I haven't been a bit clear about, or you think, oh, hey Peter, how do I do this? Or is there a way that I can do this differently? Then just drop me an email, and I'll have a look at it, and I can show you how I would approach it, and then give you some guidance on how it's done. Okay, so give that a go, and have fun, and let's keep in contact, and best of luck. Okay, cheers then, bye bye.